Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, here we successfully complete our employee registration. So here we successfully able to insert this data. So right now I want to discuss about that edit portion. So if you want to edit it, how can you edit it? Okay, so if you want to edit, that means that is in our view, into the view area, that is our action as the edit button and the delete button. So first of all, I want to work for our edit and update. So that is in our view page. Now go to our employee add. So that is our employee view, right? So into the employee view, that is our one of the action button, that is our the route as a designation edit, and that is our edit button. So now I want to change it. So I want to make it as a employee. Okay, employee, and then registration edit. So this type of one of the route I want to create, and also here we have to edit it with a specific one of the ID. At that point, I think you already know that edit functionality. So we have to create this route, and also that will be one of the ID. Better go to our web. So now we want to copy it. I copy and here I paste it. Okay, I paste it. So you can see I didn't update it, so that will be as a user profile. I want to do and change it. That will be as a employee registration or employee management. Okay, that will be as a employee management. So that employee management related everything I want to add on here, or rather than you can also use it as a employee registration all the routes. Okay, so that means employee registration all the routes. So here I paste it, so that will be one of the get method obviously, and I also add that name. Our route name will be as a employee registration edit, and then the ID. So I copy it, that will be as a employee registration edit. So I make it as a edit, and after that edit, that will be one of the ID, because here we have to edit it with a specific one of the ID. So now in our employee registration controller, in here I want to create one of the method, that will be one of the edit method. Okay, I name it as a employee edit. So now I copy it and now go to our employee registration controller. Into the employee registration controller, after this store, right? So that is our store method, and after that store I want to create another one. I name it as a public, and then function, and then our method will be as an employee edit, and also here I pass one of the ID. So here also we have to get this ID. So now I take this ID. Okay, that will be our ID. Perfect. So into the edit page, what exactly the data I want to visible? I want to visible some of the data. It will be comes from our user table, and also I want to display the designation. That means designation data also we have to load, right? So now first of all I want to get all the data. I want to get all the data from our user table. I make it as a data, and I name that variable as edit data. Okay, edit data, that will be our variable. And with this user model, I want to find a specific our ID data, because from to the user I have to get this data, right? So I get that a specific one row data, that will be our ID. I think at that point you already know about it. And also I want to load all that our designation. For the reasons I take as a data, and data that will be just like that same before we did it. That means I don't want to take one of the variable. So in our employee add page, you can see that will be actually just like that same. Better I copy it, and then here that will be as a same as a data, the designation variable, and from our designation table I want to get all the data, right? And after that I want to return one of the page, return one of the view page. So return view page, that means into the backend. I have already created one of the folder. I have already created one of the folder as an employee. Okay, employee folder, and into the employee folder I have created another one as a employee _ register. So this type of one of the folder, and here I want to create another page. That means that will be as an employee. Okay, that will be as a employee _ edit. So this type of one of the page I want to create, and after that here I am to pass all that our data. So I simply pass all the data. I hope it's very much clear to you, friend. So now in our employee register folder, that means in our employee register folder, I want to create one of the page as an employee edit. I copy it. So now into register, I click as a new file, and here I name it as a save as and name it as a employee.blade.php. okay, that will be our page. So I want to copy everything from our ad, that means the employee ad. So it should be just like that same. I copy it, and now in our employee edit here I paste it. So now I want to customize it. So here that will be as a add employee. So right now that will be not that add employee. I want to make it as edit. Okay, edit employee. So here what exactly we have to do? We have to simply display all that our value data, right? That means I have also get all that our specific find ID data, that means a specific row ID data, and take the things with this variable. I also pass this data in our employee edit page. So now we can able to use it with access with this edit data. So that is our employee name. Name will be, I want to visible that value. Our value will be what? Our value will be with this edit data. That means that is actually our variable. I pass it as edit data. So now with this edit data, I want to visible our field name, or field name as a name, right? So to the user table, that is our field name, that will be actually visible. Now I copy this value, so that will be just like that same. There is a father's name, there is the mother's name, and then there is a mobile number, and then the address. There's everything will be just like that same. So first of all I want to update it. So there is our name, and then our field name. If you go to our user table, into the user table, go to that structure. I think you already know what exactly the things I want to do on here. So that is our father name as a F name. I want to display that F name, and then that will be with this value. I want to load that mother name, and then that will be our mobile number field, our mobile field name as a mobile. I copied, that will be as a mobile, and then that will be as an address. That is our address field data, right? I copy it, and then that will be the address field data. Perfect. So perfect, address field data. Perfect. So that is our address, right? So now first of all I have to check it. Now click as a save all, and now if you go there, now click as a refresh, and after that, that is our edit. Okay, you can see it's now showing as the edit 22 data, and edit, that is the ID, right? That means our requested ID. Now click as the edit. Yeah, you can see our employee name is selected, father's name is selected, mother's name is selected, mobile number, address is selected, right? And also there is a designation also, it's loaded all the designation. So for the reasons here I have passed also, there is another designation table data. So all the designation data I pass it, and I also pass it in our edit employee page, that means the employee edit page. So for the reasons you can see our all the designation is downloaded. So now that is our gender. So if I select it as a male, then automatically it should be selected as a gender, same as the religion. So we did this type of work a lot of the time. So here only we have to update that condition, right? So if you go to that employee edit, and then there is our gender. So when it should be as a male, then it should be selected as a male. So here we have to add this condition. I want to put this condition on here. So with this edit data, so I make it as edit data, right? So with this edit data, I want to access our field name. I want to access our gender field name. So that is our gender field name is a gender, right? So with this edit data, I want to access our this gender field name, and when this gender field will be equal as a male, then it should be as a selected. So I make it as a selected. Okay, make it as a selected, else it should be as a empty. Perfect. So that's all you have to do. So when it should be as a male, edit data, gender, I want to access it, it should be check it our database, that means this field it is the gender field. When it should be as a male, then it should be as a selected, else it should be as a empty. Perfect. So now I copy it. I have to add the same condition for this one. I paste it. So when it should be into the gender, when it should be as a female, then it should be as a selected, rather than it should be as a empty, right? Perfect. So also for the religion, that will be just like that same. Here I also want to update this portion better. I want to make it a little bit here, and after that I paste it. Sorry, I want to paste it out this condition. I copy this condition, and then here that will be actually this condition. Here I also want to update it, this condition, and then this condition. So with this edit data, I want to access our database field name as a religion field, right? So in the religion field, when it should be as a Islam, then it should be as a selected. When it should be as a Hindu, it should be selected. When it should be as a Christian, that will be as a selected. Else it should be as a empty. That is a pretty much simple condition, right? Now if you click on to check it, click as a save all, and now go there and now refresh it. So unvariable edit, you can see a spelling mistake. You can see there is a spelling mistake. So for the reasons, actually I'm always prefer to use that with the copy. I edit data. Okay, so here the spelling mistake of, obviously here I also did that same thing. That will be as the edit data, right? So with this edit data, that is the religion. Now click as a save all, and now go there, click as a refresh. Yeah, it's perfect. Perfectly is now selected as a male, and also perfectly selected as Islam, because this employee I have selected the gender as a male, and also I have selected that religion as Islam. Perfect. So now I want to load our date of birth. So date of birth will be just like that same before. Better I want to copy that one of the value data. So that is our value. I copy it, and then religion, the date of birth, I paste it. So it is the date of birth, our database field name as a date of birth, right? So now I simply select it, and that designation, and with the designation area, I think you already know what exactly the things you have to do. Here also we have to put that condition. I simply put that as a this condition. So with our edit data, edit, and then data. So with this edit data, I want to access our database field into the user table. There is a database field for the designation ID, right? So when this designation ID will be equal with our this here I get all the data with the designation as designate, and then that means this ID, right? When it will be matched with our this designation table ID. So here I want to actually update that part. That means when our designation ID will be matched with our this designation table ID, then it will be as a selected, else it will be as a empty, right? So friend, that's all you have to do. Now I want to check it, click as a save all, because for this employee I have also selected one of the designation. Now click as a refresh. Yeah, you can see for this employee I have selected the designation as a teacher. Right now our teacher is now selected, right? And then the salary and the joining date, that will be same as a value. So better I copy some of the value, and then here that is a salary. So after that salary I make it as a value, and then that will be also as a value. So for the salary, our database field name as a salary. If you go there, you can see that is our salary field name as a salary. I make it as a salary, and then that joining date will be as a join date. So that is our join date. So now I want to update, that will be the join date. Perfect. So with this value I want to display it, right? So now that everything would be actually selected, and then the images name is path as the images, and also the ID, the show, the URL path. So here I want to visible. If you go to our employee or the student, into the student registration, there is a view, that means edit page, student edit page. If you go here, I have also put this type of one of the condition. That means that is actually the condition, right? When it will be with this edit data, when it will be as the same, then it will get this image. So better I copy it. There is a image src, right? I copy everything, or rather than better I copy everything. I copy the total image, and now go there and updated that image. Okay, I updated that image. So it will be same with this empty data, that is the edit data. So with this edit data, right now we don't need this. Better I close it. With this edit data, I want to access our image field. Okay, with this image field, and when it will be uploaded URL path, I have already uploaded the URL path. I updated the URL path, that is in our employee images, right? I copy it. That will be our images, employee images. With this edit data, the same. Here we don't need to add any relationship method. I want to use it. That will be our image, right? So that will be our image. Perfect. So if there have any data into the particular this folder area, it will be get this data, that is our image field, and upload, rather than it will be display our default image, right? Perfect. So friend, that's all I want to do. Now if you click as a save all, and now if you go there, click as a refresh, yes, you can see salary is selected, joining date is selected, and also our stored data, that means for a specific this employee image, is also visible, right friend? I hope every part is very much clear to you, because with the edit data I want to access our user table image field. So into the image field I have uploaded into the upload folder, into the employee images folder. Here it should be get that image, and rather than it should be else it should be display our default image, right? That means here we successfully complete our edit portion, right? Everything is great. So that is our employee name, father name, mother name, mobile number, address is selected, gender is selected, religion, date of birth, teacher is selected, salary, joining date, and then image is also selected. And also I want to change that button name. I want to make it not the submit, it will be as update. That will be as an update, right? So now if you click as a save all, and now after that if you want to refresh it, yeah, you can see our button is now updated as an update. And for the edit employee here, I want to do one thing. Like here, when you want to update it, I don't want to update it that salary, I don't want to update it that joining date. Because of all, the salary is also interconnected with our another database table, that is our salary log table, right? So that is also connected, joining date is also connected. So for the reasons here I want to actually hide two of this. That means you can also remove it, rather than here, that is our joining date and that is our salary. So I want to put one of the condition, I want to put one of the if condition. Okay, if there have the no, that means the not at the rate edit, I want to set it, is set our edit data, edit, and then data, then it will be a display, rather than this row dot will be display. I make it as a and if at the rate and if. Okay, now let's check this out. So now that should be not display. Now click the save all, now refresh it. Yeah, you can see salary is totally gone. And also I want to don't want to display that our joining date. So that is our call 3. So here I paste it, and also I paste it, I and it our this if condition. Okay, so for the updated, I don't want to update it both of this, because that is actually interconnected with our another table. Only I want to update it that all that our rest of this field. Okay, so now if you click the refresh, yeah, it's now totally gone. Okay, so perfect. So now friend, how can update this user? Better want to continue this process. In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.